What is going on, everyone? My name is Alpha, and today we are bringing you another Pokemon Challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Leaf Green, as in we're on Pokemon Fire Red. me. Today we're on Fire Red, and we have a new challenge for you. We have Can I Beat Pokemon Fire Red using only moves with less than 40 power. That's gonna be a weird title, but obviously it's kind of in the title itself. So we're gonna play through the game. I can only use moves that have a power number on it, with obviously numbers less than 40 on it. So I can't use moves with 40. I've decided on that. There's too many moves with 40, so we're gonna stick with under 40, which is I'm like, how's that gonna work? I didn't even think that's that many moves. I was like tackle and bubble. That's the only two moves that came to mind. So that's why we're starting with Squirtle. Haha. So anyways, so if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas, and also subscribe if you guys are not already. Greatly helps the channel. Anyways, let's get into the challenge. To explain more on the rules, we cannot use items inside the battle, obviously. We can use any Pokemon, and we just gotta use moves that have less than 40 power. We can use multiple attacking moves because those are a power each. However, we cannot use like magnitude or rollout, so those are gone out the way from the get-go. But we can use moves like Fury Attack. I know it's a bit complicated, but you know, just sit back and relax. You get the gist of it as soon as we get into the challenge. So obviously I want to start out with Squirtle. Squirtle's gonna be, I think it's gonna be the most useful. I can't use Charmander because Charmander is gonna be annoying to just train up using Tackle against Brock when there's the first gym leader is against Brock. So I'm not gonna really choose Charmander. I'm not gonna choose Bulbasaur because I feel like that's an easy way out if I choose Bulbasaur, if I just use Sleep Powder and Leech Seed the entire game. So I'm not gonna use that, and that's why I just haven't used Squirtle in a long time. Ironically, the video adjacent to this will have Squirtle in it. And I'm trading up Squirtle as much as I can until I get Bubble, and then start using Bubble more. Obviously from there I am just going to be ravaging through the obviously first routes just to get more XP. I've never got this town map. I don't know why I get this town map. It's useless. You don't need the town map, but we get it anyways. Just why not, you know? Anyways, clearly training up our Squirtle a bit too much here, but you know, better safe than sorry. We're gonna challenge our first trainer, which is our rival again, and we're gonna destroy him pretty easily with our Squirtle. Luckily his Bulbasaur somehow does not have a grass move, and we just destroyed it. We got 4 moves on our Squirtle already, level 10, and I think we're pretty clear to just run into Pewter City. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head into Viridian Forest, and the first trainer we get is gonna poison us, and we're gonna have to walk through with poison. Luckily there's an antidote up north, and we could clear the poison. From there we're gonna head into Pewter City, limping because we got poisoned again. Oh no. I hate this part of the game when you're playing Squirtle because you always get poisoned when you're Squirtle. If you have a Charmander, you clear through easily. If you have a Bulbasaur, you clear through easily. If you have a Squirtle, you will always get poisoned. So Squirtle users, they hate Viridian Forest. It's just a known fact. Anyways, we're heading into Pewter City. Pewter City is gonna have a bunch of rock and ground types, so Squirtle is perfect for here. That's why Squirtle is just under level and is still demolishing everything with Bubble. This is where I got Water Gun, and I'm like, you know, we're not gonna use 40 power moves at all. So obviously I chose not to use Water Gun, and that's that. I quick skipped through my Sony Vegas, and I just completely skipped through Brock. So anyways, we use Bubble against Geodude, one shot it. Onyx comes out, Bubble 2 shots it, and then we grow to level 14 and we beat Brock, and that's all she wrote. We're done with Brock. From here we're clearing through more of the game. Just this route here right before Mount Moon. We clear out as many trainers as we can. Obviously get our Squirtle to a War Turtle so we can get obviously set and ready to go. From there I want to catch a few Pokemon. I want to catch a Nidoran, and I also want to catch a Spearow, and you know, have them a bit trained up for the next game, for the next part of the game. Train up my Nidoran here. It gets pretty decent levels. Beat up the Paris too, beat up the Bug Catcher, and then run into a shiny Geodude. Wow. I'm like, I kind of don't want you. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of don't want you. You're very rare. 1 in 8,900 something 941, something like that. It's pretty rare. It's a very low percentage of happening, and I got it, and I'm not too happy about it because that means I have to use it on my team because it's a Geodude, because it's shiny. So you know, I gotta give the viewers what it wants. So we gotta use a Geodude. It's not gonna be really good. I'll tell you why I hate it later on. You guys might catch on. So the only move it has right now is Tackle, so I mean it's part of the team. So I train up all the team members pretty evenly throughout this Mount Moon cave. The dungeon's not too hard. We got a moonstone just for when we want to evolve our Nidoran. And we head into Celadon City, where we head into against our rival. This time our rival gets the best of us and actually blacks us out because our Wartortle is at 1 HP and the last Pokemon it has is a Rattata, and we just got to take the L from there, and that's unfortunate. So we got a rematch and we got to beat up Gary, and we still barely beat him. So come back, you know, we had to clear through Nugget Bridge anyway. So clearing through Nugget Bridge, get our Nidoran up to a Nidorino, get it pretty useful, and now it's set to go. We train up the rest of the team too. All of them are around level 20 now, and we head into Celadon City's gym. It's obviously a water type gym, and it's gonna be pretty easy for us. Nidorino destroys Staryu, gets destroyed itself in return, and then Wartortle slowly. That's amazing, fantastic, and we beat him. So we beat him, and so we beat Misty, and we evolve our Nidorino to Nidoking because, you know, it's the right time. We also get Chiding in the game. Chiding's can be a forever fetch. We obviously can start off using it as an HM slave, but turns out it's actually pretty good. So Chiding will be part of your team, which is confusing, right? I don't know. And then we obviously evolve our Geodude. It took a long time, but we evolve our Geodude to a Graveler, and it's still useless because it has no moves we can use. It has Rock Throw, 50 power, so we can't use Rock Throw at all. So we're just stuck using Tackle against a bunch of electric types. Luckily, Lieutenant Surge is really bad, so Graveler destroys his team somehow. That's incredible to me. How did Graveler beat everything on this team? So from there, we're heading into Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel's little route before it doesn't give us too much issue. Rock Tunnel itself, you know, gave us, you know, plenty of XP for our Wartortle, and, you know, it's pretty clear that, you know, our team is kind of getting round up. They're decently strong right now, but it could get better. So from there, we're heading into Lavender Town. We're gonna obviously not stay here for too long. We're gonna leave Lavender Town and head into Celadon City. Celadon City, home of a lot of decently good Pokemon. So I went against Erica. Erica kind of destroyed me a lot, and unfortunately we just lose the first time. After that, we come back and our Nidoking finally finishes off the job and then destroys the Vileplume at the end, and we get Erica's gym badge. Took a little bit. Go ahead. Nidoking's only move to really attack is Peck and Double Kick and Poison Sting. So I mean, I guess you can't really blame it for not being too good, but at the same time, you know, it's Erica. How are you struggling? So Nidoking's obviously becoming my ace slowly, the highest level on my team. But there's some points where it's interesting. Chiding actually saves us here, sand attacking down to Kangaskhan, and then our Nidoking clutches up and beats up the Kangaskhan. From there, I get my bike and then obviously fly back to Celadon City. You know, destroy everything, head into Lavender Town, and then we destroy our rival there because our team is pretty good now. A lot of Pokemon on my team cannot handle Ghost types because they only have Tackles, so we gotta clear through as fast as we can. We head to the top, we get Mr. Fuji's Pokeflute, and then we're heading into Cycling Road after we're not getting a Snorlax on our team. We're just beating through it, and then we head into Fuchsia City. Fuchsia City, home of somewhat annoying Pokemon, Koga's gym. Koga's gym is very annoying. So we're heading to the Safari Zone first, so we can get a little more rounded up. Wartortle, obviously we get HMO3 with just Surf, but we can't use it because it's such a high power move, so we're still stuck with Bubble. Our Wartortle eventually evolves into a Blastoise. Our Chiding is actually named Chud now because I was trying to change his nickname, but my editor did not work, so it's just Chud now. So I mean, it's kind of my fault, but anyways, we head into Koga's gym fight, and not Chiding, is kind of stomping through it. Chud knocks out the first Coughing, and then Graveler comes out. I'm slowly weakening down the muck with my Graveler somehow. So I mean, Tackle is a pretty decent move on this thing. I mean, it destroyed it up until I just kept missing and lose. So from there, I sent out my Chiding, and for some reason Chiding hits it first try and then crits it. So I mean, I'm not complaining. Chiding's a monster. I don't know what I was doing. I let my Farfetch get hit with poison and then switch out immediately, but I mean, it worked out at the end. Anyways, my Nidoking versus the Weezing, poison versus poison, Peck versus Tackle. This is a confusing fight, honestly, one of the most confusing fights in the world. But I mean, he used a bunch of more items than I get to use, and then, you know, it's really up to Farfetch again, and I can't use Fly obviously. I used Swords Dance once and then Peck it twice to knock it out, and we beat Koga. Confusing. Okay, I don't know how Chiding is the best Pokemon on my team, but it works. We head into Silph Co, and again, Chiding is going to glow up a lot. Chiding is a monster. So we head into a rival battle fight. Rival battle will have his full team ready to go, lock and loaded. Swords Dance right in front of the Pidgeot. Double Swords Dance. Gets crit by the wing attack, which is very annoying. So I mean, it's annoying. False Swipe. Obviously not gonna use that. Not a fan of it. I mean, from there, I sacrifice my Graveler and we knock out the Gyarados, and then Nidoking comes out, beats down the Growlithe, and Alakazam 1v1s versus my Blastoise. Blastoise knocks it out with 2 tackles, which is surprising. Venusaur comes out. I lower his defense, 10,000 IQ plays, and then I hit it with a Peck, and then it almost kills it. But then I hit it with another Peck, a different Pokemon's Peck, Nidoking's Peck, and it kills it. So we beat our rival there, and then we head to the tippy top, where Giovanni will be there. Giovanni is, not too hard to beat, because he has ground type Pokemon, and everyone dies. From there, I'm worried that my Farfetch is not going to be too strong, so we're going to have to train up against the trainers in Sabrina's gym. We get up to level 49, and Cha is just Swords Dancing right in front of the Kadabra. It uses Reflect, so now it's just neutral, but I mean, eventually the Reflect will go down, and Cha will kill it. Cha eventually knocks down all 4 of a Pokemon. Peck is just a monstrous move. What can I say? I'm not using knockoff because it's a special move in this game. It's a dark move. So we beat Sabrina. I'm not sure why Sabrina is in that character or in that like model. I don't know what's going on with that. But once we're done with that, we're gonna head into outside of Rock Tunnel. There's a Poke Center there, and I'm thinking like, do I really want a legendary from here? I'm like, nah, I'm not too fussed about it right now. So we went out and get a Shelter instead. What? Wait, where's the brain logic, right? I'll explain later. Shelter is gonna be necessary for later. We also need some water moves on our Pokemon, because the next gym fight will be Blaine, and Blaine's pretty tough. What can I say? I head through the Pokemon Mansion very easily, and from there we're using Cloyster a lot. Cloyster is pretty high level. We train it right outside the opposite side of Future City, the other entrance, so it's pretty high up there now. So once we get a chance to head into Blaine's gym, we are going to stomp through it a little bit faster, but until we get to Blaine, our Pokemons are kind of weak to him, because Fire Blast is such an incredible move. With its stab, it's going to destroy most of my Pokemon. It destroys Cloyster, it destroys Blastoise, it destroys Graveler. So obviously the greatest point of view is to use Farfetch against it. So the strategy with Farfetch is to let it set up right against the Rapidash. I can take 2 Fire Blasts, but I can't take any more than that. And from there, I Peck the Arcanine. It hits me with a Fire Blast. I live with 1 HP, and then I kill it with a Peck. A Peck, 35 power move, I believe. I beat Blaine with it. So I mean, I'm not complaining, but Blaine is. So our team is obviously not complete, and we're gonna have to head into Giovanni's gym with an incomplete team. Our first trial and tribulation. Our first trial is against this first trainer, and our Pokemon are pretty weak, and it's no doubt that our team is incredibly weak, and we need some training after this. But we head into Giovanni. Blastoise using his bubble, 20 power. It's so weak that it can kill a Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn with the most abysmal special defense. It cannot kill in 1 hit, so it has to 2-shot it with bubble, a water move, against a Rhyhorn. So it's obviously abysmal. So Dugtrio comes out. I switch in my Farfetch just to get it damage down, and then I'll bait in the other Rhyhorn, and I'll kill it, and I'll beat it down with my. Obviously, I'll beat it down with my Blastoise, and then Farfetch can start setting up right in front of the Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, the Nidoqueen ends up poisoning me, and now I have to beat the last Pokemon with just my Cloyster. Luckily, Cloyster is obviously a water type with a lot of physical defense, so it can take down the Nidoking, and we get our 8th gym badge pretty easily. Pretty well. I mean, I'm pretty set off in battling. Unfortunately, a glaring flaw is going to be exposed by our rival right outside of Viridian City. So we head into the penultimate rival battle fight in our game. We beat it down pretty easily, pretty convincingly, however. So we knock down the Pidgeot. It will send out the Venusaur, and we can start setting up right in front of Venusaur's face. We set up twice, and we knock out the Venusaur, and it It's done. It's done like that. It's done out here. Unfortunately, the Alakazam will come out and actually obliterate my team. So from there, I'm like, oh, that's not cool, because Alakazam had one Calm Mind up and just destroyed my team. So we rematched it, and then Farfetch obviously destroys everything. Alakazam will come out, and then biggest issue to have is that it's gonna hit me, but it didn't hit me at all. Uses disable. Obviously not gonna disable me. Should have. I don't know why it didn't disable me, but it didn't. And then we beat it. So obviously we have a glaring flaw in our team, that it's just our team is just weak. That's just it. So anyways, we're gonna head into the power plant right outside of Rock Tunnel's entrance, and we're gonna obviously catch the Zapdos available to us. Catching the Zapdos, we're gonna put Peck on it. We're gonna go to 2 Island and use the mover learner to put Peck on our Zapdos, and that's how we're getting. That's how Zapdos is gonna be useful. That's the only move it could use, and that's unfortunate, really. So from there, we're gonna actually head into the first Elite Four members chamber, which is Lorelei. Lorelei will obviously be the Ice type Elite Four member. We're gonna use Thunder Wave right in front of the Dewgong, and then obviously let my Zapdos die as get the little chip damage we can, and then Store Zens right in front of it, and we Store Zens 3 times. Luckily, Dewgong just got paralyzed twice, and we could live in Ice Beam. And then we obviously just knocked down the rest of our team. Slowbro goes down, Jinx goes down with a crit, Lapras comes out. I mean, it takes a decent amount from the pack, and obviously from that, I set on my Nidoking. I accidentally clicked Poison Sting, but it worked out in the end because it poisoned it, and I lived in Ice Beam, and then double kicked it. Ends up working pretty well. And finally, it's Cloyster versus Cloyster, and this takes forever. This is abysmal how long this took, but we eventually beat down the Cloyster, and we beat Lorelei down. This is super speed, by the way. Oh my god. From here, we're gonna head into Bruno's chamber. Bruno's chamber is always gonna be a bit annoying. Blastoise still cannot kill anything with his attack stat, and my Zapdos is getting 1v1 versus the Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan gets the best out of it, but you know what? It is what it is. Farfetch cleans up the scrap, and also 2 shots to Machamp, which is insane to me. Oh, okay, Machamp just let it beat it, and then Hitmonlee comes out. I have nothing to deal with it, so I just let my Farfetch go crazy. It crits it at the end, and then it beats the Hitmonlee, and Blastoise comes out with his stupid bubble move, and it beats the Onix. So luckily, Blastoise could do that part of his job. From there, Agatha is just I'm just sweeping through Agatha pretty easily. My Farfetch destroys her, and you know, I set up right in front of her first Gengar, and we cleared through Agatha. Next up, it's Lance. Lance is gonna be a bit more difficult. We're gonna Thunder Wave the Gyarados, and then peck it down. It's gonna Hyper Beam down my Zapdos, and it's like, oh, well, that just happened. So I get a free setup on it, obviously, and then I'm just gonna allow it to hit me. It's gonna get paralyzed, and then it's gonna hit me one more time with Bite, and then I'm gonna just peck it down. Was it necessary? Not really, because I eventually switch out my Farfetch, and then to beat the Aerodactyl, I'm gonna bubble it down. Oh man, a very threatening move called Bubble. It didn't work out, and you know, I had to send out my Cloyster in backup, and it still didn't work out pretty well. It used Hyper Beam again. I lived it. It has to recharge. We beat it with the Cloyster. So lucky for that. Cloyster's main job was to beat Lance, and it didn't do that. It didn't get a chance to. It didn't get a chance to beat Lance, which is very unfortunate, because I'm like, well, the purpose of you on my team was to beat the Dragon Elite Four member for me, and you didn't get a chance to. So I'm kind of confused what purpose you hold on my team. And from there, our Nidoking comes out. I luckily poisoned the Dragonite right before you safeguard, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm blessed to have this. And luckily, we beat it down with our Graveler. And you might be like, where's Graveler's other move? It doesn't learn any moves under 40 power the entire game. I have to use Tackle on it. So it's like, what's the point of this Graveler? It's just shiny. That's all. That's its purpose. It's the only shiny. That's the only purpose it has. And luckily it wasn't in full restore range, because you know, that would have been tough. Gary will face me with his Pidgeot to start, and I am going to obviously set up spikes as much as I can, and then hit it with an Icicle Spear as much as I can. And it obviously didn't work. So I had to set up right in front of it and peck it down with my Farfetch, because Farfetch is the GOAT. Blastoise comes out. It 2 shots the Rhydon. You know, gang is getting two-shotted. And then Venusaur comes out. Obviously, I'm gonna paralyze it and just try to weaken it down with Peck. I got bored, so I just sent on my Blastoise to die. Use Tail Whip, you know, weaken down its defenses, so it's a bit easier for me. Boost up all my physical attack and then just one-shot Peck it. Alakazam, similar thing. It used Reflect, it doesn't matter, it's going down. Gyarados comes out, it lowers my attack. I use Fear Attack, honestly, because of the physical attack drop and the Reflect being up. I decided to use Fear Attack on the Gyarados, and it's obviously multiple hits, so it's multiple chances of getting obviously a crit, so it's easier to beat it eventually. And then finally he sends us Arcanine, and I'm like, well, it's an Arcanine. Luckily for us, we paralyzed it and actually just hit it down to where it's comfortable for Farfetch to actually crit it with a Peck and beat it. So we beat the Arcanine with a Peck, and we completely beat the game with that. So I'm like, oh my god, thank God, thank goodness that happened. I was kind of like, I was iffy, like, what if the Peck doesn't kill it? But it crits it at the end, and we beat the Arcanine. And now we beat Fire Red using with only moves under 40 power. So that's kind of insane to me. We even got a shiny, and we used and our MVP is a Farfetch. So that is a very crazy ride what we went through. But thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas, and also subscribe if you guys are not already. My name's Alpha, and I'm out. Peace.